Welcome back to Schlocktober, here on World Class Bullshitters. I'm your host, Jeff Hicks, and with me tonight is the last standing Samoan, Nik Utum.
All work and no play makes Nik Utum a dull boy.
Well, I guess you've never played because I find your ass boring as shit.
Fuck you.
How's that colonization of Florida treating you?
It's going real well. I mean, Matthew's almost done, and before and once that's over with, then we go and kill the remaining white people, and make them into Soylent Green and fertilizer, and then we just start fucking and just making people.
That sounds tasty. Can I come visit?
Sure. Yeah.
Cool. I'm there.
You have to apply for a green card first, but it's fine. I'll make sure your application goes through quickly.
Because you're the king of Samoa, so I expect, preferential treatment.
Of course you're gonna get that. Come on.
Perfect. Well, tonight's episode is not about any man. It's about the man, the king of horror, if you will, the Stephen King. And no, we're not going to talk about Stephen King books because books are boring and only stupid people read. Sarcasm. Tonight, Nick and I are going to review we're going to rank the top 5 Stephen King films. Nick has his list, I have my list, and we're going to tell you why these films made the list. So, without further ado, Nick, tell us your number 5, please.
Number 5 is Carrie.
Good choice.
Yeah, I went with that because I really like the movie. The movie is it's an older movie. I think it's made in the 70s, I think.
78 or 6? I think it's 76. I'm going to look it up while you talk.
No, it is 76. And okay. I mean, anything that's made in the 70s that's kind of in that horror genre I love because it all looks the same and it's all like, down like this. It's all like, these not suburban areas. Yeah, these suburban areas that, it's like white picket fences, high school, local businesses, like it's all that kind of stuff, and I really, really like that. And that's what this was. And it's a story about a girl getting bullied, and because she's different, she doesn't have friends, she doesn't talk to anybody. Her mom's a religious nutbag, and one boy thinks it's funny to ask her out to the prom, and they're gonna make fun of her and stuff about they're gonna make fun of her at the prom and everything, but then those girls and guys get detention for a while, and they get real pissed because they think Carrie did it or had something to do with it. And she's slowly learning that she has like these mental telepathic powers that slowly get stronger and stronger and stronger as they go through. And it culminates at the end prom when she gets fucked with a little too much and kills everybody with her mind.
So, do you want to know why I like Carrie?
Why do you like Carrie?
The bush. The opening shot is just naked girls in a fucking shower. What's not to love?
I love how I went on for like 2 and 3 minutes. You're just like bush. I love that. You made it so fucking simple. Like I can't be mad at that at all.
That's my new game for every movie I see. Simplify why you like this movie down to one word. For Carrie, the word is bush. It's the only movie where I find Nancy Allen attractive. Because like RoboCop, she looks retarded. She's got that stupid vest and that fucking she looks like a slow kid with that helmet.
That's true, she does.
And she's useless. Murphy gets his ass blown apart, and where the fuck is she? There. That helmet didn't do shit for you,
She was doing her
Nancy.
nails in the car. Okay, just let her be.
You suck, Nancy Allen, and everything but Carrie.
Also, this is where John Travolta's in this movie as well, and he utters the worst words ever uttered by a human being ever.
What's that?
Get her done. As he's cutting the pig open and getting the blood.
See, the first time I saw Carrie was on, I want to say the Fox movie channel when I was a kid. So maybe late grade school, early high school. And it was completely uncensored, but I must have dozed off in between like the beginning and the end because I remember watching the beginning and I remember the end, obviously, but I didn't realize John Travolta was in that fucking movie.
One thing that I hate about this movie is the slow motion they do for like the bucket of blood takes like fucking forever to happen. I know you're just building tension, but at some point it just becomes annoying.
What did you think of the remake?
Which one?
Not the Rage Carrie 2, but the 2013 or 14 Chloe Grace Moretz Martinez Hispanic not so much remake.
First of all, that girl is very cute, and the way that like they try to make her like, oh, you know, nobody likes her, this that. Like, no, she's actually attractive. I don't know what your standards are in that school that she's not attractive, honestly.
Well, they seem like a type of school that thinks Chad Michael Murray was a god, so different strokes for different fucks.
Yeah, I didn't like it. It didn't need to be remade. It got remade in the 90s. And then we had Rage Carrie 2, which was kind of entertaining a little bit.
You take that back. The Rage Carrie 2 is probably the dumbest horror movie of that year.
Oh no. It's a good bad movie. That's what I'm trying to say. It is complete shit, but it's entertaining to watch like this slow, you know, flaming carcass just, you know, roll down the street. It's just bad. It is bad, but it's a good bad. That's what I like to call it.
I just remember the part where the kid jumps off the building.
Yeah. Oh,
that's all I remember.
That was crazy. Yeah, because I don't think she even jumps off. She just like walks off the fucking roof garden onto like a teacher's car.
I just remember watching. I remember as a kid seeing the commercials for it. I think during wrestling, I would see the commercials for it. I'm like, oh, that movie looks so cool. These movies look so crazy. I can't wait till I'm old enough to watch them. And then I do watch them, and they all suck. So I'm glad I grew up in the 90s, was born in the 80s, so I didn't have to go to the theater and get disappointed. At least I get to live in a world where the Avengers and, you know...
Oh, sorry. No. The other Carrie, I think it was 2002, and it was a TV movie. The TV movie.
I've never seen the Carrie TV movie.
Yeah, you don't want to. Don't worry about it. You're not missing anything at all.
Yeah, I don't. I really don't.
I think the only thing is that Carrie is played by Angela Bettis. That's the only thing.
Well, Sissy Spacek does a good job, and I think, was it Piper Laurie that plays her mom got an Oscar? So,
yeah, she did. She did.
So that's a legacy right there.
Yeah, exactly. I just really enjoy it. It has that like old school feel to it. I love that it's filmed old school. I just love that whole thing.
And I love the Bush.
Yeah, you love the Bush. Yes, thank you.
Well, my number 5 is quite different from yours. This is from the 90s, and I don't know if it's a good film or a bad film, but it's a film I fucking love to death, and that is Thinner.
Ooh, oh yeah, my dude. God! When did Thinner come out? Do you remember?
I'm gonna say 96.
Oh my God!
And I remember being aware of it when I was a kid. And I don't think I saw it until a couple years ago when it first hit Netflix. And I just was hooked. I love Stephen King movies. There's a certain, a certain atmosphere about them. And I love it. And Thinner does such a good job of creating that atmosphere.
It does. And yeah, it did come out in 96. And I remember both my parents taking me to watch this movie in 96. So I was 11? I was 11, yeah. And, I just remember watching it, my mom covering my eyes at the appropriate times and everything, but I watched it and I loved it. It was crazy as hell.
What does the last standing Simone's mom consider an appropriate time to cover your eyes?
I think it was when dude was getting a blowjob in the car.
See, like, I wouldn't cover my kids' eyes because they wouldn't know what's going on. Like, they would ask me, like, Dad, what's going on? I'm like, oh, he's got an itch on his leg, and the mom's scratching it. There's some bullshit story. I'm not going to say he's getting his dick sucked. Like, kid's not even going to know what a dick is yet. Like, I'm not going to say, that is your dick, son. You know, we'll use some other frou-frou-fiddly word for a while. But that's not relevant to why this movie's on the list. It's not about blowjobs and lying to children. It's about a story about gypsies who... Okay, so there's this fat-ass lawyer... And he accidentally kills a gypsy, his wife, and the gypsy man, or is it his daughter? It's the guy's daughter, right?
Yeah.
And he kills the guy's daughter, and the old gypsy puts a curse on him by touching his cheek and going, Thinner! So then the next day, the guy wakes up and loses some weight, keeps eating, keeps losing
Yeah,
weight, he's happy.
it's the elderly woman. It's the mother. It's the mother. It has to be.
Oh, okay. So the guy just loses a fuck ton of weight from this curse, and he's happy, and then he gets too thin, and then he wants the curse removed, and I won't tell you anymore because I don't want to ruin the twist ending, but it's fucking awesome.
Well, there was also like 2 other guys who got the curse.
Oh, that's true, they did. They went quick, though.
I think one was Lizard and one was Leper.
Like, that's what they got?
Yeah, that's what they got. Yeah.
Oh. I was
Like,
about to say, you're doing a better job of naming these characters than I am.
yeah. Well, like 3 guys were involved in that whole thing, and they cursed 3 of them. But this guy, focused on him because he was the main guy who actually killed somebody. The
other one was the judge and the lawyer, right?
Correct. Yeah. Carrie got Lizard, where his body just started growing scales, and then Duncan got Leper, where he got large boils, and eventually he commits suicide. So
it's a gory movie, and I hate his family. Like the main guy's family, I just absolutely hate them.
God, his wife is such a cunt, and I guess his daughter is a cunt too.
I think his daughter's too stupid to be a cunt. She's just retarded. We're gonna use the most offensive words we can think of, and retarded fits her to a T.
Yeah, she's just a dumb bitch.
So, Nick, tell us what number 4 on your list is.
Number 4 for me is Christine.
Ah, double dipping, you motherfucker. By the way, listeners, if you want to hear us gush about Christine and other John Carpenter films, make sure you watch our list of the top 5 John Carpenter films.
Yeah,
anyway, Nick, go ahead.
I'm not going to go into it because I did it on the other video. I want to hear your number 4.
My number 4 is Misery.
Oh my God! Oh, so good.
Did you forget to put that on your list or something?
No, I saw it, but then I was like, I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna see what else is there, and I found a few other things, and like it wasn't on there.
I think Misery is one of the few horror films, if you even want to call it a horror film. It's just psychologically terrifying.
Yeah, it's more of a psychological thriller, but it's just like the woman is just like she's very monotone and very creepy, and that creeps the fuck out of me when like psychotic people do that. They're just very monotone. It's like, well, I'm going to boil your flesh, and then I'm going to rub it down in some barbecue sauce and eat it with a nice Chianti and fava beans. Okay.
If I had to bang her to get out of being killed, I would do it.
Okay, here's another question. If you had to bang her to get out of it not being killed, who do you think about while you were banging her?
Okay, so it'd be 1990, right?
Yes.
Okay, and I would be me, and I'd be fucking Kathy Bates. Well, see, I'm not saying she's good looking, but she's not hideous, so I guess I could still be in the moment. But if I,
but no. But she's a psycho, and she's gonna she's gonna fucking kill you.
The one thing you and the listeners don't know about is if I'm looking at a vagina up close, I'm probably going to be into it no matter what. So I'll be able to separate getting my head chopped off as I'm getting, the head. So I may be able to get through it because I'm like, all right, Jeff, this is the most important boner of your life. You maintain this thing, and you do good, and you will walk out of here a new man with new vim and vigor, and, a little bit of shame because you banged a crazy chick, but she doesn't know where you live, so you'll be safe. But anyway, back to what actually happens in the movie. I'm going to make sure that I don't tell the plots of these films because if you're a listener that has never seen these films or you have a basic knowledge of some Stephen King movies, take the ones that are going to be on this list and go watch them. I mean,
especially when you reach a certain point in Misery, this is a very fucked up movie. And you'll know when you reach that part, and you'll have a reaction, let's say, to that. I'm
going to say one word to describe this movie: ankle. And by the way, my one word to describe the movie: thinner.
Yeah, ankle's appropriate for Misery. It's very appropriate. It really is.
The thing is, though, I think she won an Oscar for her performance in this movie.
Oh God, I want to see that now.
Kathy Bates did a great job. I don't really like James Caan as an actor, but to see him get fucked up makes me like this movie a lot more. And I'll never forget the first time I saw it. I was in grade school over at my then best friend Brandon's house, and he says, "You want to watch Misery?" And I said, "I don't know what that is." And I thought it was some like stupid like chick flick or something retarded. And then we put it on, and I'm like, "Oh my god, this is the greatest thing ever."
Yeah, she got let's see here, Academy Awards Best Actress for Misery. Yeah.
Fuck, she deserved it, man. Her and Nurse Ratched are the two worst movie
Oh my
nurses
god.
you ever could encounter.
Oh Jesus, I love Nurse Ratched, but I mean I love her that she's a horrible character.
Yeah, I would not mind choking that woman in real life because she's just a terrible.
And wait, is that One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest? Is that what that is?
Yes.
Oh, good fucking movie. Good, like rewatchable. Love it. It's old. It's good. It's a fucking classic.
Maybe one day when we run out of topics, we'll do a top 5 book adaptations
Ooh.
to movies, and that could be high up on the list.
Oh, definitely.
But before we close out of Misery, it's atmospheric, it's fun, it's crazy. I love how the old sheriff's wife always wants to fuck. It's just little moments like that that make these Stephen King movies so perfect.
Yes.
Okay, Nick, what is your number 3?
My number 3 is Silver Bullet.
Good movie.
Yeah. There is a lack of werewolves, and that's why I wanted that movie to be on here, because I've watched it a couple times, and I really do love it. It's very good. You have Gary Busey in his prime when he was actually a good actor. You have Corey Haim when he was a little kid and could act.
When he was alive.
When he's alive, I mean, there's so many good characters in this movie. It's ridiculous, and just everything that happens in it. Like the town goes kind of crazy and goes on like a crazy like werewolf hunt, I guess you'd say.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently like this werewolf like is really after this kid who's Corey Haim, who is bound to a wheelchair, and his uncle is Gary Busey. And he's always like, hanging out with him and build. I think he built his wheelchair. Yeah, he built his awesome wheelchair for him. And I forget exactly how the werewolf hates this kid, but I think it's because like he attacked him or shot something at him, and he's like got permanently damaged or scarred or whatever by it. So his werewolf's always after this kid, and he's always trying to get him and kill him or whatever. And in the town, people are getting shredded and just gutted and things, and they don't know why. They think it's a wild animal, and like a lot of the drunk hunters in the town meet up at the bar to drink and then to go out and hunt.
I just remember that the guy Everett McGill that's in this movie shares a birthday with me.
Everett McGill, yeah, he's also in I want to say
he's in License to Kill, which is a James Bond movie.
Yes, he is. And License to Kill is also in Under Siege 2: Dark Territory.
I have seen that movie, and I don't like it.
Well,
Everett McGill had a decent career.
Yeah, he did. Well, I mean, it's also the starting point for what's her name?
Oh, Erica Eleniak?
No, Katherine Heigl.
Oh, yeah, that's why that movie's garbage. Dude, Everett McGill was in People Under the Stairs.
Oh my god.
And Dune.
Holy shit! Oh yeah, he was. People Under the Stairs. Oh man.
What we should do is another Wes Craven list later on.
We should.
Not tonight, but
Oh, definitely. We need to do that.
Hint, spoiler alert, my number 1's going to be A Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh, mine is not going to be that. I already know my number 1's going to be.
If it's Scream, you're fired.
It's not. It's a good one. It's a damn fucking good one.
Okay, cool. I was worried for a minute. But my number 3 on this list, I don't know if this is a cheat or what, but I put Creepshow.
Oh.
I think this is probably the best horror anthology film, that or what's that, Cat's Eye? It's one of the two. And that's also a Stephen King film, so there you go. Man. I really like anthology movies.
I actually found the comic book of Creepshow. I have it at home.
You got it?
Yeah, I have it. It was at this little shop and they didn't know what they had, and it was like $10.
Well, there you go.
Like, so I was just like, how much is it? They're like, oh yeah, it's $10. Can you do better? They're like, yeah, we'll do 8. I'm like, okay, that's fine. And just like I just went out to the cart. I was like, holy shit, I got it.
I just remember seeing this movie as a small kid and loving it because I just don't know how to describe why I love it so much. I like anthologies, I like the little short stories, and I think each short story, with the exception of the one about the bugs in the control room, is really good. Especially the fucking one where it's Leslie Nielsen and Ted Danson.
Oh my god! Like
something to tide you over.
Yeah, because the thing is that I would watch Leslie Nielsen before that, and he was always in like these comedy movies, always a funny guy, and in these parodies, like these really shitty 90s parodies, yeah, you know. And I was like, oh, okay. And then like, I saw him in that, and it creeped me the fuck out because I was like, what is he doing? Is he gonna be funny? He's not being funny. Why is he not being funny? What the fuck's going on?
He's being a real actor, Nick.
Yeah, and it was just like, it was extremely creepy to me to watch, and I was like, oh, this is so weird.
So have you seen Creepshow 2?
Yeah, I have.
The only thing I like from Creepshow 2 is thanks for the ride, lady.
You mean
if they could put that in here and replace it with the bug one, I'd be happy.
You mean you don't like the fucking like oil slick one?
Oh, the one that like eats the kid as he gets out of the water. He's like, haha, I beat you, and then it jumps up and eats him.
Yeah.
I do like that one. The only one I don't like out of part 2 is the fucking Indian chief.
Oh yeah. Oh, I thought that was in part 1. I'm entirely wrong. Yeah, the Indian chief was a little awkward. I do like the older guy in that one.
I have to go back and look at it to know the actor's name, but part 1 has a star-studded cast. You have a young Ed Harris. By the way, the woman that plays his wife in that first scene is really, really cute.
Oh god, she is.
I mean, she's not the greatest of actors, but she's very, very cute. You got, who else is in that? You got Hal Holbrook, Adrienne Barbeau, who used to be married to John Carpenter. As we said, Leslie Nielsen and Ted Danson.
You even have wait, is this the one with meteor shit?
Yeah, Stephen King.
Yeah, Stephen King's in it as well. Yeah.
Oh, Jordy Vero, you're a lunkhead, or whatever he says.
Meteor shit.
It's not even worth $2. That one's awesome.
Oh,
I have
man.
a surprise. Listeners, one of these days when you go to the official World Class Bullshitters site, incarnate-studios.com, there's going to be a big Creepshow surprise. So, just, if you're a Creepshow fan, bookmark this video, bookmark the website, and by the end of the year, you're going to see a Creepshow surprise.
Definitely. I can't wait for that.
All right, Nick, and you said your number 3 already was?
Mine was the Silver Bullet.
Okay, cool. Number 2. What is your number 2, Nick?
My number 2 is probably your number 1. My number 2 is The Dead Zone.
Okay, yes.
And The Dead Zone is just, I remember watching it, I think like 5 or 10 years ago, and it was around the time the show was still out or being talked about. And I was like, oh, I didn't like. I looked it up and I was like, oh, there's a movie with this. It's done by Stephen King wrote the book. I had no idea. So I went out and watched it, and lo and behold, Christopher Walken is the main guy. He's Johnny Smith, and he gets in an accident and he's in a coma for I think 7 years. Is it?
Mm-hmm.
And
something like that.
He wakes up and he has powers. If he touches somebody, he can see into their future and see what they're going to do. And if there's any, horrible things that happen to them, he sees that too. And it's just, it's Christopher Walken. I don't need to really say anything else.
The ice is going to break.
Oh, I remember that with the cane that he had and everything. Oh, such a fucking good scene. Because you don't see that coming at all. At all.
No, okay, so I found this movie just a few years ago on Netflix. I had heard of the TV show, but it looked stupid, and I think I even watched a couple episodes back in the day. And but like cable TV shows are so cheap looking, and I can't get into them. I want like a fucking 2-hour story. Give me an entire narrative. I don't have time for 24 episodes, so I never got into it. But then I watched the movie. I think on like a Saturday afternoon when I was still in college. I was fucking hooked. Like, yeah, it was ridiculous how good I thought this movie was. Especially there are 2 parts of this movie that make it my number 1. The part where he goes back to meet his girlfriend that he had in the past, and she has a kid, and they like do all this stuff, and then they still bang, and then she's like, "We can never see each other again." I'm like, that's kind of cool. Like, I like that. Like, she still had the feelings and she acknowledged it, but then she kind of just like let it go. Like, there was one more time.
Yeah. She broke off a piece like one last time, which is good. You know, you gotta respect that.
And then the fucking part with Martin Sheen.
Oh yes, Martin Sheen. Oh god, just a good fucking actor, and he played his part so goddamn well.
Dude, there are like 2 movies in the Dead Zone. You know?
Yeah.
There could be 2 separate films. The Christopher Walken parts and the Martin Sheen story could be its own movie.
Yeah. You could essentially just do 2 parts, one from each person's perspective.
And isn't this directed by David Cronenberg?
Wow! Oh my God, Cronenberg! Oh man, he is so fucking weird in such a good way.
Yeah, David Cronenberg directed this movie.
Oh,
no wonder it's so fucking good. And I love the credit sequence.
Yeah, Cronenberg did Videodrome, which is a super fucked up movie, but I love the shit out of that.
And that's the movie where I think Debbie Harry looks the hottest.
Yeah, it's
like, I always thought she was cute, but that movie I'm like, damn, she looks really good.
Yeah, it's super fucked up. It's one of those movies that you probably should never watch high. It will fuck with you too much, but it is just so good.
I got a guy I know named Nick. I'm gonna tell him to watch it when he's high, because he's like a hardcore drug user and he'll fucking flip out. I want to see him. I want to hear about what he does.
Yeah, because the Dead Zone. I mean, sorry, no. Videodrome is something you don't watch high. Like, that'll fucking fuck you up too much.
Maybe we should have him watch that and The Fly together.
Oh my god.
I'll be like, hey Nick, if you don't stop smoking weed, your penis is gonna be in a jar. My mom used to tell me stories about the movie The Fly. She saw it in theaters. She's like, it's the grossest movie ever. His dick is in his drawer in his medicine cabinet. I'm like, ew. Why are you telling me these things, Mom? You're ruining my fragile little mind.
This is what happens when you masturbate.
So I love the Dead Zone. It's my number 1, but we're still on number 2 technically. So my number 2 is The Mist.
Oh man,
I love this
fucking movie. That movie scares me.
Tell us why.
Okay, it'll be a little bit of a spoiler alert, but whatever. Shit goes down in this town. I guess things start flying around. A fog rolls in, and like, you know, shit gets weird. And everybody goes to this grocery store and hunkers down, which is, I mean, a good place to go when, like, you know, the apocalypse is happening. Go to a grocery store. There are groceries there. You can survive. But the thing is that there's an old religious woman in the movie. And she is just extremely vocal about her beliefs and her God and this, that, and the other. And it's just, what happens slowly is that things start to go south really fast. They send somebody out with like some string to see what's going on. And they get grabbed up. Weird creatures start coming through the loading area in the back, and things start flying through the windows in the front, and they're just like these weird ass creatures. And, you know, she starts spouting her gospel and being like, you know, God can speak through me, and, you know, we have sinned too much, and the devil is coming here to take us, or what, this, that, and the other. And people start believing her, and they start doing what she says, and it happens in a very short amount of time, like within 2 or 3 days, and that's fucking terrifying.
And it's funny that we take this movie on different levels. I just like the whole aspect of like the people huddled together. Like, I like claustrophobic movies. I've never been one to deny that. I like movies that take place in one location over a short period of time. I think that's a key to, if you want to make a movie, if some filmmaker wants to please me, Jeff of World Class Bullshitters, make a good story that takes place in one location or takes place over like just like a weekend or something. I don't like long sprawling, epics that take weeks and months to complete. Like, I like a movie that's like, oh, it's like 3 hours later it's over. And this movie, it's like it starts out in the morning after this big storm, and then like the afternoon they're in the grocery store, and they're there. I don't even know if they're there a couple days, maybe just like a day. And it's just a great movie. I found it online. I watched it. I've been hooked ever since. I need to buy a fucking copy of it.
Yeah, I think the Blu-ray even has the black and white version, which apparently like adds more to it and makes it even creepier.
I mean, I'll give it a shot.
Oh yeah, of course.
Isn't it Frank Darabont?
Oh yeah, of course.
That made this movie?
Yeah, directed by Frank Darabont. Yeah. Directed by Frank Darabont. Yeah.
Work. I like Shawshank Redemption. It's a good movie. It didn't make my top 5 list. But this is Schlocktoberfest. I want horror Stephen King. I don't want Stand By Me. I don't want Shawshank Redemption. I don't want The Green Mile. I want fucking the macabre. I want dark twist endings. I want fucking crazy curse words like "you little shitters," like just stuff like that. I want the Stephen King signature. And that's why I love The Mist so much. I love The Dead Zone and these other films. God, The Mist, the twist ending, I won't tell anyone about it because I want you to experience it. That is why I love the movie.
That
so
is one
much.
hell of a fucking twist ending too, especially it's just watch it. Just watch it.
Ah!
Oh, you have to watch it because it's pretty fucking morbid and it's pretty goddamn good.
You want to hear something really lame when I watched that movie after a few viewings? I always
What?
wanted Thomas Jane to hook up with Laurie from The Walking Dead. I was like, they seem to get along better than he does with his own wife. I hope they end up together in this new, post-fog world.
Post-fog world.
Yeah, like I'm hoping, you and your kid can get along with this new hot blonde lady and you guys can start a family. Maybe.
And
Find out when you watch the movie.
And bone a lot.
Every day. Laurie Holden's a good-looking woman.
Mm-hmm.
She's a MILF. I don't know if she has children. I know she's much older than I. She's probably like 20 years older than I am, so I consider that much older. But that's neither here nor there. Nick, tell us what your number 1 is.
My number 1 is The Shining.
I forgot about this movie. It's good. Very good.
Oh my! Wait, hold on. We have to talk about this. How the fuck do you think Stephen King and not think The Shining?
Because I usually think of Stanley Kubrick and I think Jack Nicholson. I keep forgetting it's a Stephen King thing. Like, for example, when I think of The Running Man, I just think of fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger. I don't think about Stephen King.
That's true. I'll give you that. But like, oh man, I watched this as a kid, and I mean, I've seen, and they even made a shitty adaptation of the '90s. Like it's a 3-hour long. Like they made the 3-hour long book word for word version of this movie, and it's fucking horrible.
That's why no one talks about this one, and fucking almost 40 years later, 36 years later, I believe, we're still talking about The Shining.
The Shining, oh man, it's so good. It is a very slow burn, a very slow build. And once it hits hard, and you don't know what the fuck is real or not and what's going to happen. It's crazy.
The one thing I have to say, though, is this is the only horror film that I find in no way scary. Like, I watched this as a kid, and I enjoyed it, but in no way did I ever find it horrifying. Like, nothing happens in this movie that makes me get nervous or scared. I understand Jack Nicholson's having a mental breakdown and the subtext and the shit that's going on. And yeah, I saw Room 237 about 40 times, so I'm well aware of the whole moon landing and all that other shit that's going on in the film, allegedly.
Allegedly, yeah. I watched about 5 minutes. I think I watched the first 2 segments of that movie, and I was like, okay, I can't take this anymore. I give up.
Nick, back to The Shining, you'll laugh. My favorite part of that whole movie is so dumb. But
wait, hold on. Is it the blood elevator?
No, it's one line of dialogue from Jack Nicholson, but I like the way he delivers it so much that I use it as much as I can. It's basic. He just goes, "Wendy, I'm home." Like, that one part is my favorite movie, or favorite part of the whole movie. Like, he's just getting ready to go ape shit. He's like, "I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm gonna bash your fucking brains in." Like,
oh man, yeah, that's so good. I remember
it's not so much a supernatural film; it's just a film of domestic abuse, which is, it's messed up, but it's not horrifying to me.
Yeah, I do love the. Well, no, I'm not gonna give away the ending. That's too much. But I enjoy the shit out of it. It's really good, and I think it's a very well told story with 3 people and like one location. Even though there are various sub locations in this one location, it's still good.
It's a great movie. I like it. When it was on Netflix, I think I watched it about 3 times this year, back to back.
Oh yeah.
I don't consider it a horror film. It's as much horror as, say, Misery.
Yeah.
But it's realistically all Stephen King movies are about being snowed in or stuck somewhere. Like, what we should do is we should rip off Stephen King, make a movie about a group of people who are stuck in a snowy place and supernatural things happen, and it'll get turned into a movie. Or it could be Dreamcatcher, which is a piece of shit.
I actually like that movie.
I bought it on VHS.
Oh my god.
When I was in high school, I was on this VHS kick, not to be hip or trendy, but because I could find them for $1 brand new at Big Lots. So I just bought any movie that looked relatively interesting. And Dreamcatcher was one of them, and The Matrix Reloaded in Spanish was another. I didn't realize it was in Spanish until I got home and was like, fuck, this is not dubbed. Or this isn't subtitled, this is all dubbed in Spanish. So, needless to say, I've never watched the second Matrix all the way through.
Yeah, you're not missing much.
Don't want to watch it. So, Nick, what's your honorable mention? Do you have one?
Honorable mention?
Well, while you think of it, I'll tell.
Well, no, I do know. It's Apt Pupil.
Okay.
I remember watching this movie very recently in the last year or two because I really wanted to watch it, and I really liked it. It's very dark and disturbing. You have Ian McKellen being this German Nazi who has hidden over the years, and this high school kid who has found out what he is pretty much, and is torturing him slowly. Like this old man who's like in his 90s is torturing him. He's like, well, do this. Tell me about this. Here's a uniform. Put it on. Show me how you did, all your goose stepping and that bullshit. And then the tables get turned, and the old man fucks with the kid. And he's like, well, if you don't do this, that, and the other, I'm going to tell people that you abused an old man and you pushed me down the stairs and my leg is broken because of you and shit like that. Like, it's, and all the German Nazi stuff, it, like, really comes out. And the kid is, like, all about that stuff. Like, he's not trying to be a Nazi, but he's learning, like, more about it than he wanted to.
I need to watch that movie. I've heard nothing but good things about it.
Yeah, it is a slow burn. It does take a little bit to pick up, but once it does, it's very interesting.
So for my honorable mention, it's a little bit of a cheat. It's a twofer between The Stand and The Langoliers. I'm joking.
Wait.
Both of those movies are pretty shit. Especially The Langoliers.
Oh my God, watching that as a kid, the concept I liked, but once it got to those like furry time-eating like hairballs, I was like, nope, can't do this.
Wait, you thought they were furry? They were just really poorly rendered CGI monsters.
We'll go with that too.
They weren't even CGI, they were just CG characters, like, there's no image in that computer-generated pile of shit.
No, it wasn't. It was, yeah.
It's a bad movie. No, my honorable mention would probably be It. I don't love it, but I've never been afraid of it either. I remember people were like, oh, it's the scariest thing I've ever seen. And then I watched it, and I went, really? That's scary to you? And then I had a girlfriend in college, and we rented it, and it's like a double-sided DVD. You got to flip it over. And I remember...
Oh, man, yeah, it was one of those old school ones that had both, like, the entire movie on both sides, yeah.
And I just remember watching it with her, and we were drinking. I think we fooled around.
Yeah.
And she was afraid of clowns. So
well,
I don't know if I was torturing her with it or what.
Well, apparently, like, everybody seems to be afraid of clowns now, and it's just like, I'm not afraid of them. Like, I've never been afraid of them.
Me neither. They're just assholes in white paint.
Apparently, from what my mom says, I used to be, and then I watched Killer Clowns from Outer Space, and that like just didn't like. I was fine then.
I watched that movie and thought it was okay. Just clowns never scared me. I liked them as a kid. I thought they were funny, Bozo and Bozo. But, nowadays people are like, oh, I'm afraid of clowns. Why? There's nothing scary about them. Like, when I watch a killer clown film, I just go, okay, it's about as scary as a werewolf. It's just not scary at all.
True.
And then, back to It, Tim Curry does a fantastic job. I'm really worried about the remake coming out.
Well, I mean, it's a remake. It didn't need one, but somebody high up thought, let's remake this because we need more money.
Somebody high up needs to invest in world-class bullshitters and let us make some movies. We'll give you truly original ideas for a fraction of the budget, and you don't have to pay Stephen King royalties. You have to just pay me royalties. And
somebody high up needs to jump off of that
less.
high fucking tower into some fucking glass shards or something. God damn it.
See, Hollywood, these are your two choices. Invest in world-class bullshitters or die.
You sounded like a Bond villain right then.
Shh, don't tell people where I get my shtick
I'm
from.
sorry.
Though the only thing I don't like about it and why it's not on my list, one, because I would rather watch The Shining, but two, because of the fucking giant spider thing it becomes.
Yeah.
But my favorite part of it is when he goes, hello, do you have Prince Albert in the can? Well, you better let the poor fellow out. Ha ha, ha ha. It's so fucking funny.
It's so good. It's so good.
Oh my god. Do you have anything else you'd like to say about Stephen King films before we...
Probably just, I mean, no, I don't. I have nothing to say. I'm done.
Alright, well, MOON, that spells the end of this episode. Thanks for watching, and we'll be back later this week with more.